How's everyone doing tonight? I'll get a little bit of a special here. Christmas kind of came early. I wasn't expecting this until, well, third week of February here. But Barnes & Nobles decided to actually ship it relatively early and got it in. Eridani Light Horse Hunterlands. This is the Barnes & Nobles exclusive. The Light Horse happens to be my favorite of the Merc units. They're an ex-Star League unit that did not go with Kerensky in the Exodus. Instead decided to, well, hire their talents out and otherwise defend their homes. Now this happens, I don't know why they called it a hunter lance, because then it's pretty much an assault lance. Let's kind of dive in and take a look. First mech in it, we have a Cyclops. Generally on tabletop, it's kind of maligned. I actually don't mind them. They're very flavorful mech. And oftentimes, actually, for an assault lance, assault mech, they're rather cheap. Just don't ask them to take on more than one opponent. We have a Banshee 3S. This mech is an absolute monster. It's an improvement upon the 3E Banshee in every way. Carries 2 PPCs, an autocannon, 4 medium lasers, 2 small lasers, and a SRM-6. And its successors, the 5S and the 9S, are terrors in their own right. We have our jumping mech of this box set. The Thunderbolt 5SE. It's pretty much a standard Thunderbolt weapons package, except it shrinks the 10 rack down to, well, the 15 rack down to a 10. Gets rid of the small, the SRM launcher, and also does away with the machine guns. So it's just the 3 medium lasers, the LRM-10, and the large laser. It's still a pretty respectable fire weapon suite. And you have the added addition of mobility. Like the Hatchet Man from the earlier film, it plugs into the back. You can kind of decide whether you want it to be a jumping pose or a running pose. Actually, I like this one quite a bit better. It's the fact that it looks like it's getting a running start and jumping. And this is a personal favorite. Debuted in the 3067 TRO as part of the FedCom Civil War. Robinson Standard Battle Mechs, the Sagittaire. This is what happens when a crazy designer gets a hold of a ton of pulse lasers and is allowed to create a monster. It's one of the most vicious infighters I've ever played. I have absolutely melted atlases with this thing. And a bunch of other assault mechs even. Now taken up against, in Civil War games, against a Fafnir. And if it gets close, it's going to win. Regardless of how big, nasty the heavy Gauss rifles on the Fafnir are. The Mini's pretty close to the old metal one. Change up in the cockpit a little bit. Actually, hang on. Okay. This is the original metal one. And I've had this for probably like 17 years now. Still has the paint job that it was made in. As you can see, they kind of changed up the cockpit a little bit. The fins on the wings, they don't use those. And Has a gigantic jump jets on the bottom, where a lot more detail there. It's a little simplistic in tactics. You kind of want to play in either 3D terrain or in a city. You want to get close and let your six pulse lasers just absolutely go to town on them. Even does have a pair on the back too. One of the cool things about this mech is if it does get cornered in the back, it has no upper arm actuator. You just flip the arms and you have 90% of your firepower ready to go. This lance set's a little more specialized than the Hanson's, I think. Whereas that one had some nice variety in mech sizes and models. This one very much is an assault lance. You could easily do this. What you have here is a command lance in a mercenary company, for sure. A large one. Also, this would work well as a Davian command lance too. Overall, I won't say this one's a must-get, but if you like mechs like the Sagittaire or want the variant of the Thunderbolt, definitely get it. If you find yourself needing a Cyclops or a Banshee 3S, also get it. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great night, and I'll see you when I get the Kellhounds and the Northwind Highlanders packs.